One of the most common questions that I get asked is, how do you do it all? I'm an ambitious girly. I've always had 500 things going on all at once, and it has continued to be the number one question for most of my life. So today we're going to chat through exactly how I manage to work a full-time job, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, freelance as a graphic designer on the side, and also create content I'm able to post every single day because it's a lot. But I think it's so important to have space for all of the things in your life that give you value and joy, and you shouldn't have to compromise anything to be able to do those things. So I'm going to take you through how I manage to keep on top of all of those projects and all of those passions, and how you can do it too, because it is possible. It is possible because I've been doing it for years. I probably haven't been doing it sustainably for all of those years. It's only been probably in the last 6 months that I've found sustainable ways to keep on top of all of those projects and all of those passions. And you do have to have a schedule. If you're not a schedule kind of person, I can relate. I am like on the verge of type A, but I have a lot of trouble sticking with things. The only way I've found that I can stick with things is if I do have a schedule, and that if I do allot myself specific times to do things, because otherwise I spend all of my time being guilty that I should be working on something else or that something's not getting enough time. So the only way you're going to make this work is if you schedule in time. So we're going to chat through how that works, what that looks like, what I have set up for myself that works for me, and maybe it will help you too. But you should never have to compromise the things that you love, ever. There's just always a way to work it out. So we're going to chat through that today. So as a top level explanation as to who the hell I am, what the hell I'm doing, why I choose to do all of these things. Hi, my name is Rebecca. You may know me as Rebecca Draws Good. That's what this channel is called, and that's what I'm called across all socials. I have wanted to be a graphic designer since I was 12 years old and have pursued that ever since. I currently am 30 years old and I work as the senior creative designer for one of Australia's largest kids fashion brands. So that's my 9 to 5. But what you're seeing here is what I do on the side. I've always loved creating content. I used to make YouTube videos in my childhood bedroom, trying on clothes or talking about like fun, I don't know. I just love the idea of vlogging. I loved content. I'm a theatre girly at heart, so you know that I'm just like love performing. That's who I am. And I've also just always had such like a nerdy passion for graphic design and art and illustration. It's like my bread and butter. It's what makes my heart sing. And so while I get to do that 9 to 5, it's a kind of a different kind of graphic design. So I really love being able to put time aside to do passion freelance work. So that's graphic design work, whether it's illustration, whether it's branding, all gamut of graphic design for people in a freelance capacity. This means I get to be my own boss for freelancing and for content, which I love. But obviously I can't be doing that 9 to 5, 5 days a week. So my general week looks a bit like this. I obviously clock on for my full-time job, 9 until 5. After 5, I'll like make dinner, I might go do some exercise, I'll chill for a little bit, and then I normally clock back on to freelance from about 6:30 or 7 o'clock to maybe 11. I do that most nights. I try to be sustainable in my thinking around it, and if I have had a really big day at work, I'm just feeling a bit burnt out or a bit tired, I might take a night off. But I just make sure that I am across all of my freelance projects and know that I'm going to be able to get to them and get the work done that I need to get done throughout my whole week. I do not film or edit or post any content through the week. There's an odd occasion where something will happen through the week that I'll want to film, and like for vlogging and stuff like that, that's the only time I'll do it. I won't film any of my planned content through the week. For me, I need to separate my design stuff and my content stuff, because otherwise I get so overwhelmed, because it is a lot of work to be a graphic designer and it is a lot of work to be a content creator. So that's what my weekends are for. You might be thinking, Beck, when do you have a break? Honestly, kind of not often. And the thing is that I have recently learned that my graphic design, freelance work, and creating content are kind of my break. Like that's where I get re-energized. It's the stuff I really, really love to do. I love to get stuck into it. I truly just enjoy it so much that while I'm doing it, I'm not tired. I'm not feeling like I'm working. It just never feels like that. I just really, really enjoy it. So that's what I do on the weekend. I plan my content, I film my content, and I edit my content on the weekends so that I can schedule it all for the week ahead, meaning I don't have to touch it during the week. It just organically happens. Things get posted when I've scheduled them, so I don't have to worry about it. It's the best system that I've come up with. And so I'm going to now take you through my systems using Notion. Look, I have always loved the idea of Notion, and I've got so overwhelmed by it previously because there is so much you can do with it. I think the secret to Notion is just finding really good base templates and then taking time to put the detail in yourself, the things that you need. That's where a bit of the work comes in. But when you unlock Notion and how it can work for you, it is a game changer. It's the only thing that helps me get my shit done. It's my second brain, so that I don't have anything up in here ever. It's all in Notion. So I'm going to run you through my templates for my social media content calendar. So let's get into it. So hello and welcome to my entire brain. This is a look at my social media content calendar for a start. So this looks a little bit chaotic at the moment, and so I'm going to run you through like the tabs that I have got set up here, and how these all work together, because it is one big ecosystem. One thing doesn't work without the other, and so we'll run you through it now. So all of my social media content starts with ideas, obviously. So if I ever am like scrolling through content or something's coming up or I just have an idea out of the blue, I jump in here and pop it in my little ideas table. So these are all ideas that I have come up with so far, and there will be more ideas that I'll like pop in as I go. A lot of my ideas I've already scheduled in, which you'll see in my calendar coming up. But so what I've done is I've set up little templates for TikTok and for Instagram. The template pages are just slightly different, but it's also a way for me to pop in if I'm going to do content specific to TikTok or specific to Instagram and YouTube Shorts. A lot of the time I will duplicate my ideas and cross post, which is a huge time saver as well. Anyone who says you have to post completely different content on both of those platforms is lying to you. You can do the exact same stuff in cross post. I've found that I still find success with doing that. So what I will do is go to my little new arrow here, drop down and say I want to do a new Instagram and YouTube post. That'll create a new page. And if we say, let's go like editing process video, I don't know, that's just something random. We'll just do that. So at the moment, it's just an idea. It automatically populates as a short form video for Instagram and YouTube Shorts. My publish date and edit date, sometimes I will pop in just a random date for like a week upcoming so that it transfers to my calendar when I pop it in as a to shoot task. And so I'll pop in like a reference if I've seen a reel or a TikTok that I really like the idea of, and I'll pop that in here as a reference. And then down here, I can pop in my like hook or my script and notes and a caption. And then the beauty of using a Mac to do all this is obviously I can type that up in here and then I can copy it and then just paste it onto my app while I'm uploading it to like Instagram or anything like that, which is so handy. So I'll fill all that out. And so for this example, we'll pretend I've filled all that out. My status, I'll pop in as to shoot. And so it disappears from my idea list because it now will be existing in my calendar as a living thing. So you can see here, it's just dropped in on the 24th, which I put it here. So the way I structure my content weeks is I post TikToks on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I post Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and I have Sundays off because the weekends are my editing, shooting days, so Sunday I have off. So obviously I've already got something scheduled in here for the 24th. So this one I need to move to a different date, and I can just very easily pick this up and pop it onto a free date. So obviously I don't have any other free time for Instagram Reels until the 2nd of April, which again, this whole setup means that I have scheduled so much content in advance and I've planned so much content in advance, so I'm never stressing about trying to come up with ideas because I'm just like constantly able to plan ahead of time and actually see where there are gaps, or if I've done like too many desk videos in a row and I'm like, I need to switch it up, so I'll just like do a drawing video and slot that in and change things around, and then I can actually just see a full calendar view of what content I'm going to be posting when and what that's going to look like. Literally game changer. So I pop in all of those, make sure that I've got no gaps left behind there. And so you'll see some of these say scheduled. So obviously today it is the 15th of March. So what I've done is I've filmed all of my content for this week yesterday, and then I went through and edited it, and then I've scheduled everything. And so I have gone into each of these and changed the status from to shoot and to edit and then to scheduled. And then once I post them, I just come back in here through the week and just tick them off as published, just so I know that I've definitely published them and whatever. So that's great. You could go another step further and go back into these and pop in like your insights and data from the content if you wanted to, but I just use the analytics of each of the apps to do that. So this is how I make my social content make sense and get it out of my brain. I'm never thinking about this until my Saturdays roll around, and then I write my script and pop everything down, plan everything, and so all it is just creating the content. I just get to have fun creating it on the Saturday and Sunday. So that's what I do to take control of my social content. So I'm not going to take you through my freelance project manager just because obviously there's some like confidential information there. And so I am just going to take you through my Notion calendar. So this, honestly, I don't know how I haven't used a Notion calendar sooner than now, but it actually combines also my Google Calendar and my Notion calendar, so I can like keep everything together in here. So when I get emails with appointments and then save those dates and times down in my Google Calendar, they transfer to Notion calendar, which is just an absolute dream. And then this also captures all of my tasks that have due dates and everything that I've popped in Notion. So you'll see in the purple are all my tasks specific to projects for freelance that I have going on currently. All the blue little things are my content, so when they are getting posted, and you can see when there's like a little tick next to them that they've been scheduled or that they've been published. So that is really, really cool as well. And that's all your public holidays, any other little events and things that I pop in. But this keeps my brain all just in one place. So I have a really, really clear look at my entire life broken down into freelance and into social. And then obviously my 9 to 5 is just my 9 to 5. That's just completely separate. But this is my brain. This is my whole brain. So everything is here. So I never have to think about anything. If I just need to check in and make sure that I haven't missed anything, this is where I come. This is what I look at. And it is a game changer. So highly recommend using Notion Calendar to keep on top of your life. Oh, okay, we're back. And so that is how I keep on top of my whole life and am able to juggle all of those pieces that are up in the air all of the time. That's a digital approach. A lot of people I know prefer a physical planner, and I did too for a really, really long time. I had trouble with having to access a device to see my life, but I think just with the amount of stuff that I have going on in my life at the moment, it was so hard to keep track of all of that in a diary and also just like move things around. So I think the beauty of Notion is that you can take all of those pieces and move them where you need to very, very easily. I can schedule meetings with clients and move them around really easily too if I need to. It just makes life so much more streamlined. I don't know about anyone else, but I also have just always been someone who kind of needs to write information down a few times for it to sink in. And so I've started to learn that I do actually need like a notebook first. So I have a bit of like a scribble journal notebook where if I'm in a meeting with a client or there's stuff going on at work, or I have a social idea and I need to quickly write down some ideas for a script or something, I'll always write it down in a notebook first, and get it down onto paper. And then I take that rambling and that chaos and I make it make sense in Notion in my digital spaces. And that's totally okay. Like just having one place to put all of your information, great, like that's perfect and it's a good end goal, but you don't need to only have that one thing. And I think I thought I needed to have my one thing. And so for the longest time, I was buying all these fancy, expensive planners and they just wouldn't stick. Like I just couldn't stick with it. And I think it was just because I needed more than just that one thing. And then that's okay, that's okay. So if you need to have a manual analog version of organizing your life first and then moving it into a tool like Notion, it's totally fine. So I hope this video has shown you that it is possible to stay on top of everything and not get overwhelmed by it. It is so important to have a schedule and make time for the things that are important to you, and there is a way to do it. Don't feel stuck and feel like you have to give up things that you love, because I've been there. I very recently have come out of a place of being very stuck and feeling like I couldn't give this kind of stuff the time that I wanted it to. So it is possible. You can do it. And two, I hope it gives you a bit of an idea of some tools that you can maybe look into using. I'm going to link below the templates that I use currently for Notion. They're not my templates. They are templates that other people have built. And then I've kind of like detailed them, like I said earlier. So I've popped those links in the description so you can check them out. But yeah, here's to being our most productive selves in 2026 and doing the things that we love and making time for them. Can't wait to see what you all get up to. Good luck, Godspeed, stay creative.